Yep, I'm here.
Okay. So, we see a painted image of a great airship wreathed in an elemental ring of fire. Inscribed on the side of the ship are two words: Wayward Pilgrim. Corvair loves heroes. A nation that has seen struggle and war, politics and intrigue. The people want more than that. They want to know that someone more is fighting for something more. It gives people hope, knowing that heroes exist. But heroes come and go. The camera pulls back slightly, zooming through some dusty, cracked glass covering this painting and its frame. You see a small closet-like room filled with boxes of knickknacks, memorabilia, statuettes of the heroes of the Wayward Pilgrim. They sit under a thick layer of dust, beside souvenir halberds, lightning guns, and other sundry trinkets. The camera swings past a shelf full of books with many different titles chronicling the exploits of Corvair's greatest heroes. The best and greatest Corvair had ever seen returned from saving the world in Zendrick and doing good deeds, making the continent safer for the next year. Then they were gone, and the threats, they continued. The vision swings back through the keyhole in this closed door of this closet into a much more clean shop space. First thing you see is a simple sign that reads, "You break it, you buy it." A gallery full of art, dioramas, and memorabilia stands beyond in the vast store. Dioramas of terrible aberrations and great dragons greet you as your gaze slowly slides through the room.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, that's Harvey.
Close.
Some agents of the far realm, Zoriat, still remain on Corvair. A huge green dragon awoke in the Eldine reaches and struck into the neighboring nation of Ondair. Many people panicked in those early days, but many more took action. A council of nations was formed, united for the first time in centuries in a common goal. Shift down the aisle, and you see dioramas of armies fighting these beasts alongside replica weapons and armor, emblazoned with the various symbols of the nations of Corvair. A ragtag but hardened group fought off a horde of tentacled creatures in one, while a disciplined force of Ondarian and Carnathian winged cavalry fought a serpentine aberration in another. The world needed new heroes. Many people stepped up to fill that role, but none more than Avina Talandro of Thrain. The camera once again rotates away from the shelves of art, for sale at reasonable prices, to look down the aisle between the shelves. At the end of the path is a single pedestal, upon which is a beautiful golden statue of an angelic figure. Slowly move towards the pedestal. They rallied the faltering armies during the Battle of Athandra's Field and drove the aberration threats back to Zoriat from whence they came. They single-handedly slew the dragon Krondros the Fierce. Finally, the hero the people had been looking for. You're getting closer now to get a better look at this figure. Beautiful and striking, but firm. They stand with one arm upraised, holding a sword. The other arm holds a shield emblazoned with a single silver flame. You recognize this as the symbol of the Church of the Silver Flame. Their gaze is raised upward past the sword, looking to the heavens. On their back are two great feathered wings. Under Avina's leadership, the lands began to know peace once more. But these things never last. The Mournland, under the direction of the Lord of Blades, began to strike out at the neighboring nations after they had enjoyed several years of peace. With this newest threat, the nations had but one hope, and it was to rally behind Zoriat's Bane, the Dragon Slayer, Avina himself. You shift away from the statue to see several racks of pamphlets with headlines reading, "Warforged armies strike into Thrain," "Avina Talandro, our world's last hope," and "Empire of Corvair formed, Council of Corvair disbanded." The camera continues to pass up the aisle until it gets to a small sales desk at the front. You go behind the desk, and the camera turns around 180 degrees. You see there an aging man, long-nosed with salt and pepper hair and an easy smile. A small rack of gems and jewelry sit on the sales counter in front of him, a glimpse of his former profession. Yes, and that is how we came to be led by our sovereign, Avina Talandro, he says. In this, the great empire of Corvair. But that is just one story I know. I do so love stories. Oh, my thing crashed. Did my thing crash?
No.
It's okay. I don't really need it for much of this. Why you crashing, dog? Why you be crashing? Did you guys get kicked out?
Yeah, it was connection loss.
yeah.
I did not.
Reconnecting attempt
Yeah,
1 failed.
Well, yeah, I'm opening it up right now. That's okay. This was a good pausing.
Reattempting connect.
So yes, Jim the Jeweler just says, "I do so love stories."
The jeweler.
Yep. At that, a blast of hot air rips through the storefront and whisks you away out into the open air between the towers of Sharn. You see people frightened, running and cowering from the wave of destruction. You fly through the air until you leave the city and rush across the countryside, a flash of hot white pushing you along. You pass through Brayland, Aundair, and Thrain until you end up somewhere in the land of Karnath, far to the north. Whispered on the wave are the words, "Doom is coming!" You start to descend toward the ground and see that you are approaching an army, maybe 500 people in strength. It seems to be sizable and well-trained, if a little bit random. A banner stands at the edge of the force, holding a pennant with the symbol of a black spiked iron chain. The soldiers stand and look up toward you in the approaching blast wave. And as the destructive wave of heat blasts over this army and the entire world, a single voice whispers in the ear of every person of Saramet. "Come on, people! Don't you recognize a portent of things to come? Back in my day!" The voice fades, and the wave harmlessly passes over the soldiers of the chain of Avalas, your mercenary company. Bewildered, you look at each other at the strange event, the strange portent of possible things to come. At that, you see one particular hobgoblin, a woman. Dang, did I crash again?
Yeah.
Yep.
What the hell,
You're
man?
crashing.
What the hell, man? Are you using the internal IP, Rachel, or the code?
I don't know. Is this all my fault?
I don't think so, but
He's not saying it's all your fault, but
There's some implications there.
I'm in troubleshoot mode. Anyways, so you see this female hobgoblin who's
Power
kind
cycle.
of looking up at the sky where this heat wave just blasted over them, and as this person turns around to go back to whatever they were doing, they just get socked in the face by some other human. And that's where we're going to be picking up our first session, is Rachel getting punched. Rachel getting punched in the face.
What? This is
Uh,
bullshit.
Rachel, you're a hobgoblin? That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to kick this thing up again. I'm gonna minimize my campaign.
Andy, before you
Yes.
load it, try turning off your theme and see if it does it again.
Oh.
Because the night I played a theme, it crashed like twice, and then I took it off. It
Really?
was fine.
Okay.
Now
I
it
can
could
do
be
that.
something different, but you know.
I also had it on full screen. I was wondering if maybe that was... I had it on full screen, but I was like controlling my OneNote in another page.
Just the worst.
Oh, well, but I like my theme. It got the... It was much dirtier than the Radiant Company. I went for
It
dirty.
is, yeah.
Bloody.
It's blood in the
Yeah.
background. It's Rachel's blood. She got punched in the
It's all right.
face.
You never
Yeah.
really see the theme. I'll try it one more time. We'll see. Alright. But, yes, you guys, my plan is, you guys will be part of a mercenary group, the Chain of Avalas.
Just
actually,
another link in the chain.
That's
Do we have to
right.
wear a uniform?
The old
No.
grind.
No.
Thank God.
You may if you want to. In fact, you guys can kind of decide some of that because you are all officers in this chain.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Uniform, uniform, uniform.
Mm.
I'll
way,
leave it
man.
up to you guys. Leave it up to you guys. So you are Chain of Avalas, one of 4 mercenary troops from the plane of Acheron, the eternal battlefield. You're collectively known as the Legions of Acheron or the Hell Troopers. Other nicknames you guys have. Most people probably call you the Chain of Acheron itself, but you guys know your formal name is the Chain of Avalas, being one of the 4 main areas of Acheron. Okay, we're connecting. This is good.
So should I use your 192168 or not?
Yeah, try using that one.
That's what I've been using.
Okay, great. Yeah, so my plan with
Why am I
this-
getting punched in the face?
Well, we can play it out if you want, but it's gonna be the very first part of the story. I mean, do you want
Please
to play it
punch.
out? What would you do?
Wait, do we start at level 1? By
I
the
don't
way,
know yet. I don't know yet.
We're gonna start at level 3.
level 3. Right on.
Everyone starts at level 3. We were talking about this the other night. Abe and Rachel didn't have any strong preferences, so I suggested that we use either like a point buy system or the standard array for statistics. So those are
No, I'm not ready to play out me getting punched in the face yet. I need to finish my picture first.
So, Andy, could you give some details on the this mercenary company? Is
totally.
I'm looking up this Acheron. It looks like it's lawful evil or lawful neutral plane. So is that
Yep.
kind of the vibe of the?
All right, I'm gonna turn off the theme. I'm going with your suggestion name. So I'm not running an evil campaign, and in fact, at this point, the chain of Avalas, the chain of Acheron, has been. It's mostly legend at this point. Who knows if they are actually there? But it is said that they are from there. I am not planning on running this as an evil game, but Acheron is like the battlefield. Everyone who is there, it's the spirit of the fallen dead. You know, that go to Acheron. So thematically, it worked for kind of career soldiers.
Okay.
I'm hoping for more of like a gritty game with this one. The one thing I would say is that this is a career army. They're the people that would join the chain. Turning off the theme. Go. Boring old non-theme. It's fine. It's fine. So, I have some notes here. So people who would join the chain are mostly people with no options who kind of need an escape from their life or their past. These are really just like professional soldiers. They don't get paid a ton. They don't get any kind of glory, at least none outside of the chain itself. They may earn some kind of internal reputation, but individual soldiers generally aren't like recognized for the most part, like outside of the company. So really, these are people with maybe nowhere else to go or running away from something. But one thing kind of remains the same for all of them is that once you join the company, this is your family, and these are the people you trust with your life, and they trust you with theirs.
Okay.
So regardless of your guys' beliefs and backgrounds, I'm kind of expecting that you kind of have a built-in trust and camaraderie, if for no other reason that these are the people that maybe someday are going to save your life.
Can you repeat that? Your mic or my headphones cut out. One or the other.
No, yeah. Which part?
Well, it's just like the
All
last
of
like
it.
4 words. The
Oh, yeah.
last like 4 words.
So these
They
are
have
the
a
people that,
built-in what?
yeah, some kind of a built-in camaraderie with everyone
Oh.
because these may be the people that will someday, I don't know, may save your life. So, you guys have seen a lot of shit together. You've seen people die together, and in a weird way, that kind of bonds you. It's I take from it like you hear reports of people leaving the armed services. Get to the chopper!
Somebody's got a warhammer. Can you release my character again, please? I was sorry, I did a different name this time. I forgot that that's how it's linked. But this will be the last one because this is my character name.
Yes.
Thanks.
How long have we all
Also-
been together? Sorry.
That's up to you guys. So cleared owner. So we are taking place in Saramet. I think like 10 or 15 years after the disappearance of the Wayward Pilgrim group. That left a little time for like. God damn it! Why am I crashing again? I have no idea.
I mean, you weren't crashing the other night. Is it because you're full screen?
I wasn't full screen now.
You want me to try connecting differently?
I don't think it's you.
It's definitely Rachel.
That's not what we were saying earlier.
I could try restarting. I'll just I'll tell you real quick my answer Claire's question. Then I'm gonna restart. So yeah, I was thinking probably like 10 or 15 years after the OG heroes disappeared and are never seen from again. So that's left time for basically the Council of Corvair to be formed and drive off the aberrations. This dragon to appear and be slain by Avina Thalandro, where they kind of gain a reputation as a really great tactical leader as well as a great combatant in their own right. And it left room for the Lord of Blades to kind of start an uprising and start striking out into the neighboring nations. At which point now there is an empire of Corvair, which is formed of all of the human nations have joined this empire, and the nation of gnomes, Zilargo, has joined as
Old home.
well.
Old home.
So yeah, I think that the chain actually, I wasn't really sure about this, but I think that they were actually on a different plane until very recently. So they were off doing like other stuff. But they are pretty new to Saramet. The chain themselves have only been on Saramet for about as long as the heroes of the Wayward Pilgrim have been gone, so like 15 years. So, if you guys want to be from Saramet, I would like most of you to be from Saramet. If one or two of you would like to be from like elsewhere, that's cool. But you probably have joined in like the last 15 years or so. And at that, I'm going to be right back so we can actually make some characters.
Okay.
Do a quick